I am here with film legend Tony Curtis.
He here too?
Yes, I couldn't believe it. He's right over. No, it's you, sir. I'm so pleased. I'm such a huge fan.
Oh, I'm happy.
How are you doing? That's my first question.
I'm doing great. I had I had pneumonia at the beginning of the year, and I'm just getting over it. But things are wonderful for me. Traveling a lot. It's incredible how many people love movies, and how many people seem to enjoy my presence. So everywhere I go, people are smiling and happy, throwing kisses, embracing me, signing papers. It's a nice existence for anybody.
And let's talk about those movies for a second. It's over 50 years in the business this year.
Yes.
It's almost I think it's 130 films.
More than that.
More than that.
Yes.
What is that got to be like?
Well, it is an experience. I mean, I'm stunned by it. When I first started and was getting along, I met actors that had been in the movies for 30, 40 years. I never gave it much thought. I never thought of being in the movies for 40 years. I mean, and all of a sudden, here came 50. I love it. It means a lot to me.
Let's just get a quick comment on just 3 of those films, okay? Give us a comment about Spartacus.
Spartacus was a film I made at Universal. It was the last film that I had to make there. And they were all talking about what kind of a picture it should be. And Kirk, who was a friend of mine, said, "I think I've got your last picture at Universal." I said, "Whatever you say, Kirk." And he went to the studio and talked to him. I said, "What's the part?" And he said, "We haven't decided yet, but you're in it." I said, "Great." And then they came up with that wonderful part of Antoninus, the singer of songs. I was so in love with that whole theory, the singer of song, near the end of one existence and the beginning of another.
Very good.
Very touching.
Let's talk about Houdini, my favorite film of yours.
Oh, I'm glad. It was an excellent film. We started out with very little intent by the studio. They were only interested in making action movies or movies. They didn't want any ethereal or
right.
They didn't want. They were frightened of that kind of a movie. But I thought Houdini, and the way the script out George Pal wrote it, was just the perfect amount of magic to it. And so there was quite a lot of discussion between Lou Wasserman, who was my agent at the time, and them, with Houdini coming out as a straight action movie. And with the rewrite, I began to see another quality about it. I liked it. I liked how eternal it was, how important it was to the human condition, how it was caught in that script, that you'd see it. So I said, I'm delighted. And there it was, and I made it.
And just give us a few words about Some Like It Hot. Maybe your largest well-known film.
Some Like It Hot. Perhaps, if I may be so bold, the funniest movie ever made. What a movie that was. What an experience that was. With Marilyn, with Jack, Billy Wilder, an enormous group of gangsters, George Raft, all ring through the movie. And I loved it. Marilyn and I had been, if I may, lovers earlier in 1949. I got 48, and I met her in 49. She was just starting, and I was really just starting. So we kind of ran into each other, and we liked it. And we stayed together for about almost 2 years, up until 51. Then we drifted apart, simply because...
As these things do.
As they do, and, without any rancor or anger. And I started making more movies, but she started making films. So we'd run across each other at cocktail parties, and it was always so nice to see her. When I was going with her, I had a pale green Pontiac with Dynaflow drive. Convertible. Pale green convertible with Dynaflow drive.
Those were the days.
And when I saw her again after 2 years, she says, "You still have that pale green convertible with Dynaflow drive?" I fainted. I did, but I was very moved and made a little move on her. And that move played off. So there with the pale green convertible with Dynaflow drive, Marilyn and me were resurrected.
Terrific. Let's talk just really briefly about all the artwork. You're doing paintings now.
I've been painting a lot. I've always had an aptitude for it. I've always enjoyed it. And now I'm just busy doing it all the time.
It's terrific. I see a lot of it hanging here. You're selling some prints of that work.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
I'm happy.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Curtis. I really appreciate it.
Call me Tony.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Thank you.